Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 4 of this Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster Platinum Trophy walkthrough. We're going to pick up right where we left off last time. We have just gotten the Sunfire key item, and now we're going to go rescue Princess Hilda. She was abducted while on Cid's airship, and the Dreadnought is going to be our next location. So let's go up and do that right away. Starting from Altair, we're going to go north. We go across the bridge and then just follow the land as it goes toward the northwest, and eventually you'll run into Gatria. From here, just take your canoe and you can paddle a little bit north. Now this next section is actually optional. We don't need to do this just yet. I wanted to show you that if you go into Fynn, you can talk with the guards roaming around here, and you can actually get into a fight with them if you do that. We did not want to do this earlier on in the game because we would not stand a chance, but right now we are actually strong enough to take these guys down. These are captain enemies, and we're going to focus on our strongest physical attacks possible with your best weapons, and also using our highest level magics. So I have Fire 3, and it does pretty good damage against them. The physical attacks are pretty hit or miss with us, so we're just going to do our best and hope for pretty good damage rolls on that. But ultimately, these guys have 750 HP. That's quite a bit more than a lot of the other enemies we've fought up until now, so it might take a little while, but with enough turns, we should be able to take these enemies out without too much problems. We can survive one hit from them, but we're really not going to survive 2 hits at this point, so you can heal up if necessary, but I'm just going to try to blitz them down and see if I can defeat this enemy before it takes out one of my characters. And if you do enough damage per turn, eventually you will take them down. They're a really good source of getting new weapon levels or magic levels, and they're a good source of gil as well. So you can train on those guys if you want to. You can also get golden armor as a drop from them, and that's a really nice upgrade. So farm those if you want to. Otherwise, we're going to head all the way to the northwest corner of the map. On the way there, you'll probably encounter these magician enemies, the one in the back. They have some kind of high-level magic skills that they can use against you, but they also drop black magic tomes, so it's a good way to get some new magic if you don't want to buy it from a magic shop. I also encountered a Forest Rakos out here. It's a pretty weak enemy. We'll just hit it a couple times with physical attacks and we can move right along. That one wasn't a problem for us at all. And those are the only 2 things that you need to get from the overworld map as we go toward the Dreadnought. So we're just going to keep going all the way toward the northwest corner of the map, and you actually pop out on the far northeast corner just to go back to the southeast corner as you go. Let's do a save outside of the Dreadnought because this is a one-time visit location. All of the chests in here are missable after this and we can't get them again, but the Bestiary entries we can get. If we talk to the guard at the top, we will give him the pass and he will let us through. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Welcome aboard. Well, it's time for the next watch. If you'll excuse me. Let's start by heading over to the right. There's a stairwell going down that has a couple of guards posted around it. If we go down there, that's going to be the first location on the Dreadnought that we really have to go. Instead of going all the way around, just go down a couple tiles and then straight right. You should be lined up with the treasure chest. Make sure you heal up and do a quick save. And if you have anyone that's blinded from the little enemies that are around here, it's basically just repeats so far from other dungeons. You'll want to cure that before you open up the chest and be ambushed by a bunch of monsters. So we've got some magicians in the back, and then soldiers in the middle, and finally a couple sergeants up front. And I'd really recommend starting from the back and working your way forward. So work on eliminating those magicians first, because they have things like the Fire 5 spell that they can use to do a lot of damage to everyone on your party. And then once those are defeated, then go to the soldiers, because they're a little bit easier to kill, and finally the sergeants at the end. And the reason we want to do that is because we're eliminating the enemies that have the potential to do the most damage to us first. And if we waste a lot of time attacking those sergeants in the front row, then everything in the back is just going to keep doing a lot of damage to our entire party, and we definitely don't want that. So this is definitely not a battle to use the auto battle feature on, be a little bit more strategic, take out the highest value threats first, and then we will move on from there. So in a couple turns, you should be able to take out all these enemies, and it's not too bad of a fight if you have the right strategy going into it. If you do take a lot of damage, you can just use the person who's more of your white mage, cure your party. You can see Maria took some damage here, so I will have Firion just stop attacking for one turn, use a cure on her, and then she'll be back in the fight. Not a big deal whatsoever. Okay, that fight wasn't too bad. It took about 2 minutes to do that. Got some sword levels up. We also get a couple berserk tomes, a mithril axe, and a potion. That's all good. But the main thing that we wanted to get from this chest is the sleep blade, and it's actually a really good weapon that can put enemies to sleep, which is a big benefit for us. So we'll equip that, and then we can head back out the way that we came. Okay, we're going to go up the nearby staircase to the left, and when we get to the top, go toward the left side of it and grab the treasure chest just below us for 600 gil. Now go all the way back toward the right, and then you can follow the path down. When you get to the intersection, you'll go to the right. At this point, I encountered one of the new enemies in this area. It's called the Were-Panther. It's not too difficult. We're just going to hit it a couple times with our physical attacks, and it will be gone. Okay, down to this intersection, we'll go toward the right, and then we just follow the path around. Eventually, we'll go up, and there's a door at the top, so head on through that. Then just go around and down the nearby staircase. From here, we're going to go down, go through the zigzagging path. When you get to the main intersection, go toward the right, and then you can work your way down to the bottom right-hand corner. There are 2 treasure chests down here, so go ahead and pick both of those up. And now we're going to go back toward that last intersection. Here we have a couple of stunners, and you'll never guess this, but their special ability is that they can stun you when they attack. So Firion is taking a little break from the battle. Luckily, everyone else can fill in for him, and the battle will be over pretty quickly. Okay, we're still heading back toward that last intersection, and when you get there, head down to the bottom left corner. Go all the way down there. There's another treasure chest we can pick up for a dark bow. Now we're going to go up and to the right. Now go down, and we'll go into this next section. Before you go toward that green gate, go to the left, grab the thief's gloves from the chest, and now go over, talk to the green gate, and that will open it up. You opened the iron gate. Firion, I meant to meet you at Kashuan Keep, but things didn't go as planned. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming to rescue me. Let's save the thank yous for later. I'll head for the airship with the princess. You find that engine and toss the Sunfire in. Got it? I'm gonna get the airship ready for takeoff, and I don't plan on waiting around long. Okay, let's follow them out. We're going to do the same path, only in reverse. We're going all the way back to the top left corner of this area. So work your way around here, and when you get to the top left, you can go up the stairs. Go around and out the door. And from here, we're going to work our way back through this pathway and go back up the stairs to get to the first intersection we came to. Now we're going to go down and all the way to the left, and that will take us to another staircase going down. Now go all the way back toward the right, and there's another staircase that takes us out of this room. From here, we just have to go all the way down and then all the way left. So proceed along the outside of this whole area. You can see the guards working down below on the Dreadnought. Now we're going to go all the way up and we can exit out the north door. Go around and down the stairs. And now we're going to go all the way down and all the way toward the right this time. You'll pass the stairway. We don't want to go up there yet. And now go all the way up. There are 4 treasure chests up here. The first one is a trident, so we're going to equip that onto Gordon because he's using spears anyway, so that's a nice little upgrade for him. And we're going to have him now double equip a weapon instead of a shield. The next treasure chest has a Mangaush weapon. That's a new dagger for us. If you want to equip that, you can, but I'm going to stick with things that we have a little more experience with. I'm going to heal up all of the characters and do a quick save because the next chest is a monster encounter, and this one can be kind of a doozy. We've got a magician, we have a soldier, and a new enemy, the Hillgigus, in the back, which is a lot bigger than the other ones, and he does hit pretty hard, so be wary of that. We're going to take out the magician first, then the soldier, and then try to chip away at that Hillgigus. He does hit pretty decently hard. I like to use Protect to just make all of my characters take a little bit less damage from those physical attacks, and we're going to pummel him with everything we've got at this point. So your best weapon attacks and your best magics will do really well, and we will try to burn down this enemy as quickly as possible. If you do get injured, make sure that you heal up. You definitely do not want to have a character go down in this fight because you can be easily overwhelmed by those powerful physical attacks. Okay, with him out of the way, we'll get the contents of the chest, which is an ice shield, and the last treasure chest is a giant's helm. That's a nice little upgrade. I'm just going to throw that on Furion, and that will replace the mithril helm that he's been rocking for a long time. Okay, with that out of the way, we're going to go back toward that big staircase that we walked past before, and we're going to go straight up and out the north stairwell. Then work your way around, go up into the door, and go around and down the staircase. From here, we have kind of a maze, so you want to go toward the right and then all the way up. Left to the corner, and then almost all the way down. You'll stop at the intersection just before you get to the bottom. This is the last enemy that we need to find down here. It's the Helldiver. The enemies, like I said before we got here, they will show up at other places throughout the game too, so you don't need to fight them here if you don't want to. You can't miss all the Bestiary entries in the Dreadnought, but you do have to get all of the treasure chests for sure. So Helldiver's pretty easy, take those out. We'll then head all the way down and then go all the way toward the right. You'll stop before you get to the guard and then head up to the right and now go all the way up. From here, go left a couple intersections and then down, all the way to the right that you can go. Now go all the way down, and this should take you to the exit. You can see it right there. This is the point of no return, so make sure that you have all 10 treasure chests at this point, and we're going to do a quick bestiary check as well. Again, you don't need to get all these, but I just want to do it for completionist's sake here. So we're going to go down to number 20 for the Stunner. Number 42 is the Helldiver. Now scroll down to number 110, that's the Werepanther. And finally, the Hillgigus is number 114. So if you have all of those, then you've got the 4 that we need to get from here, and you can proceed on and into the last door. Head on all the way up, and when you get to the engine, you will use the key item, which is the Sunfire, to throw it in there. You throw the Sunfire into the engine. What have you done? The engine! That voice! There's no time, Maria. The ship will blow up any minute. We have to get to Sid's airship. After that escape sequence, we land back in Altair and we get the counterattack trophy for destroying the Dreadnought. Make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe to keep up to date with more in this series. Now let's go into Altair and we're going to go have a chat with the king, who can be found in his bed chambers inside the rebel hideout. So when we're going in, just know that Gordon will soon be leaving our party, so it might be wise to remove all of his equipment so that we can keep it when he leaves. Also, you can optimize all of your equipment, making sure that Guy keeps his swords, because we're still going to try to level up his sword skill all the way to 16 for that trophy. Okay, we're going to go all the way up, and before we get into the throne room area, head over to the right, and there's going to be a door just ahead of you. Go ahead and through that, and a cutscene will play automatically. Gordon, Minwu, and Furion, I have one last request to ask of each of you. Please, listen carefully. Gordon, you've grown so strong. I want you to lead our army. Do all you can to help Hilda. My liege, I swear it on my very life. Minwu, you know of the legend. The legend speaks of the ultimate magic that was sealed away. The seal may only be broken when the world stands at the brink of destruction. I believe that time has come. Do you agree? I do. The time to break the seal binding the Ultima Tome is upon us. Furion, I would have you go to Deist, home of the Dragoons. I was told that all of the Dragoons were slain in an attack by the Empire. Yet I refuse to believe there are no survivors in so noble a group. If we are to stand against the might of the Empire, I am convinced we will need the Dragoons and their wyverns. If you combine your efforts, the day of our victory will come. This I ask of each of you. Take care of Hilda. Your Majesty! We should save our tears for another time. We must carry out the king's last wishes. We each have our duties. Let them not go unfulfilled. Okay, before we go on, we're going to go talk to Gordon, who is in the throne room where we would normally find Hilda. So head on up, and instead of going toward the left side, we'll go to the right side and talk to Gordon. When the Emperor first moved against Deist, we dismissed the attack as a mere skirmish. But the Emperor feared the power of the Dragoons. He meant to wipe them out. Let's learn the keyword Dragoons, and then ask about Dragoons. Some said the Dragoons can speak the language of the Wyverns. Now learn the keyword Wyverns, and ask about Wyverns. If you go to Deist, you may find Wyverns that yet live. A Wyvern would make a most advantageous ally. You should visit the port of Paloom and seek out a ship to take you to Deist. Well, that's a good idea. Let's head on out of the rebels' hideout, and we're going to make a quick stop at the inn just to heal up before we continue on. Now that we're all healed up and have our MP back, let's head on out of town, and Paloom is a short ways away, so all we have to do is go toward the north. We can cross the river and then head east on the lake, and that's strange, there's no ship in the harbor. Well, let's see what we can do about that. Head on into town, and there's a new person standing right by the entrance, so talk to her. Ye be looking for passage to Deist, are ye? Well, this be your lucky day. Just so happens me ship was about to leave for Deist. Be ye wantin' a ride? Doesn't this seem a little too convenient, Furion? Maybe it is, but there aren't any other ships going to Deist. We're just going to have to trust her. Me name's Layla. I'll be waiting outside the city for ye. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're set to go. Okay, we're just going to now follow her out, so head on over. If you want to stop and pick up any more items, go to the item shop. Otherwise, head on out, and you can see the ship on the right side. Go ahead and hop aboard. The ship will automatically take us to our destination. Well, sort of. Trust in pirates doesn't say much for the space you got between your ears. We'll spare ye your lives, but your loot be ours now. What's this? Is it a fight you be wantin'? You really are stupid. Get 'em, boys! We're forced into a fight with 8 different pirates, and these guys are really pathetic. This is actually a good time to level up your weapons if you have new weapons. So I just put some like daggers on Furion, and I'm able to do very minimal damage with that, but it's good for leveling things up. And I'm able to use some fire spells against everyone. They don't have much HP, only about 90, so it won't take too long to take any of them out. It's just a good opportunity to take it slow. They won't be hurting you hardly at all, so it's a very safe time to level up your new weapons or any of your magic spells that you want to work on. After defeating all 8 of the pirates, the cutscene will resume. Enough! I know when I'm beat. Go on then, do what you're gonna do and be done with it. What are ye up to? You wanna fight the Empire together? A bunch of outcasts like us, fighting right alongside the likes of ye? I like the sound of that. To your posts, boys. Whether it be Deist or the edge of the world, we'll get you there. Layla joined the party. After the cutscene, we get the trophy called a Pirate's Mate by getting a ship from the pirate Layla. Now we are in complete control of the ship, so what we're going to do is head toward that island in the upper right corner of the map. And to do that, you have to go toward the right. You can work your way through the channel around that peninsula for the western continent, and we're going to now go all the way south once we're going through there. Head a little bit toward the right because we want to line up our bottom of the map to the top part of the map. So when you go out the bottom side of it, you will automatically pop up on the top, and then we're a short distance away from the island. You want to approach it from the south side, and we're going to do a little bit of hunting for a few bestiary entries while we're out here. We find a sea snake, that's the guy up front. He's the toughest of these monsters. Then we've got the hell divers, just in case you miss them on the Dreadnought, you can get them right here. and then a couple killer fish in the back. So none of these are particularly dangerous. If you want to use some thunder spells, they are weak to these things, as most things in the ocean would be in these games. Otherwise, we can just use some physical attacks to take them out pretty easily. We do have those lower level weapons right now, so we're not going to do a ton of damage, but these guys aren't very scary either. Just a couple attacks and they'll be out. Okay, we're getting some good weapon levels now from these fights, and we're going to look for one more thing out here as well. Make sure that you also equip Layla, and I like to put her in the back row with a bow. She seems to do pretty well with that once she gets it leveled up, and she does have a good thunder spell if you want to use that on some fights too. I believe she begins with the Thunder 4 spell. Here's the last enemy that we need out here. It's the Buccaneer. They're pretty weak as well, just like those pirates. They do have more HP, but they're still not very threatening to us at all. So a couple good attacks and they will be out of the way, and we can proceed on. Before we land the ship, we're going to quick look at the bestiary to make sure that we have everything. So the first thing you want to do is to scroll down. You're looking for number 40, Killer Fish. You have 42, Helldiver. 45 is the Buccaneer. And 52 is the Sea Snake. Once you have those, then you're all set. You can head on up, and we're going to head toward this big castle-looking area just to the north of us. This is Castle Deist. Just head up and talk to the boy that you find right in front of you. Go away! Don't come any closer! Well, let's follow him up and talk to him again. I'm gonna tell my mom! And go up one more time. There are no monster encounters in Castle Deist at all, but we do have some treasures. So one is just to the left of you when you go up here, and now head over toward the right, and you can go down the stairs all the way on the right side. From here, you want to start heading all the way south, and there are a couple doors on the way there. Go through the second door that you come to. Inside there are 3 treasure chests. Go ahead and grab those for a stop tome, a curse tome, and a stun tome. Now you can head on out. We're going to go further left and then down south. We can grab another unicorn horn from this chest and go up and all the way to the right again. We're just going to go back up toward that staircase where we came from and go up the stairs. Okay, now we're going to go all the way toward the south. There are a couple doors here, but we're going to skip those. Instead, go all the way to the bottom, and we're going to work our way through this hallway all the way to the bottom left corner. Take the stairs, and there's a treasure chest just next to us. Pick that up for Phoenix Down. And now head back up. From here, now we're going to go over by those doors. So work your way through this passageway, and when you get to these pillars, you can head over. You don't need to go in either of those doors. Instead, talk to the 2 people here. I hope my son hasn't caused you any trouble. If he has, I do apologize. My husband was a dragoon. The Imperial soldiers killed him along with the rest. My son and I are the only 2 left. In the room behind us is the last surviving wyvern. It seems to be trying to tell us something, but I cannot speak its tongue. If we only had one of the pendants, we would be able to understand it. The Cavern of the Wyverns lies north of this castle. That cavern may hold one of the pendants that allows one to speak the Wyvern's language. With that bit of information, we now know our next destination, so head on out of Castle Deist. Once you go up the stairs, just head straight south and eventually you will leave. Once you're outside, we have to head north, so proceed up through the passageway, going through the mountains, and eventually you should come across this new enemy, the Stalactite. We can do some decent damage to them with our physical attacks. If you want to use magic, you can. Doesn't really matter, and they should go down without too much of an issue for you. Okay, at this point, we're actually going to take a break before we tackle the next destination, which is the Deist Cavern. So I'm just going to head on out of here, and we'll take a break. I'm going to save the game and get ready for the next episode, which will be coming to you shortly. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you soon in the next one. Have a good day.